Hey everybody, my name is Paul Esden Jr., aka Boy Green. I'm the New York Jets digital reporter for Heavy.com. Welcome to my YouTube channel, youtube.com/BoyGreen25, baby. And I'm excited. And why am I excited? The New York Jets, of course, have Aaron Rodgers, and things are hunky dory. I can't wait for the schedule release and all the hubbub that's going to come with Aaron Rodgers. And if you've been paying attention to this channel, we've been calling for Aaron Rodgers since like last November, December. So we've been on this train for a while. However, it's fascinating. Connor Hughes of SNY did this super cool deep dive article for SNY talking about the quarterbacks the Jets evaluated. So here's the story. When the Jets got to the offseason and realized Zach Wilson was the problem, they said, okay, we need to go get a quarterback. And they evaluated all these different options. There was 19 in total, 19 total quarterbacks that the New York Jets filtered through to try to determine and power rank who was the best, who was the middle, who was at the end, etc., about quarterback improvements that could be made on the roster. Here are some of the notes from Connor Hughes. And the Jets, once they got this list of 19 guys, they broke them down into three separate tiers. Tier number one, players who would have them competing for a Super Bowl. Tier number two, players who would have the Jets in the playoffs. And finally, tier number three, players who would make the Jets slightly better, but not closer to their ultimate goal. Again, there was 19 quarterbacks on this list, and they broke them down into those three separate tiers. And in that first tier of players who would put them in the Super Bowl conversation, only three quarterbacks made that list with the Jets. Aaron Rodgers, of course, and that's who they ended up with, and he was the number one guy on their list. However, there were two other guys that were on that list. Lamar Jackson of the Baltimore Ravens. And again, with his uneven nature, we weren't sure where he was going to go, what franchise tagging him this very early in the offseason when the Jets are determining all of this, obviously. And so he was on the list. Makes sense. Lamar Jackson, super young, former MVP. But another name was on the list, and it fascinates me. Matthew Stafford. The Jets, again, broke down this big ass list of 19 guys, and then they filtered them into those tiers. And of course, the Jets are swinging for the fences. So, really, the most important tier, the one that matters, is the quarterbacks that could have them competing for a Super Bowl. Aaron Rodgers, he's won it. He's done it already. Lamar Jackson, super young, and people believe he could do it. And Matthew Stafford. I love Matthew Stafford. He's got a freaking rocket launcher attached to his arm. He's a super talented guy. But I'm going to be honest, Matthew Stafford, who turned 35 years of age in February, he's a broken bag of body. I mean, this guy's just been injured all over the place, unfortunately. He was injured super early in his NFL career, then had this long run of success, and then most recently got beat up. I mean, battered, beaten, and bruised. But it's fascinating that the Jets were considering Matthew Stafford on that list of guys that could potentially take them to the next level. Now, ultimately, as Connor Hughes documents in his SNY article, they soon realized that Lamar wasn't going anywhere and that the Ravens and him were going to figure it out. And the Rams, quote unquote, recommitted to Stafford. Now, this is a Jets show, not a Rams show, but it makes no gosh darn sense that the Rams recommitted to him because they're blowing the whole thing up. They traded Jalen Ramsey for a bag of Doritos. For me, the worst place you could be is purgatory. That's at middle ground, 8-8. Okay, you either want to be great or suck. If you're great, you're competing for Super Bowls. That's self-explanatory. If you're terrible, okay, well, that's not great, but at least you're getting top draft picks and you have a vision. When you're just hanging in the middle, your pick isn't great enough to help you, but you're not great enough yourself to be competing for anything that's meaningful. So the Rams shoulda, coulda, woulda traded Stafford, Aaron Donald, and one of those closing sales, like one of those stores where everything must go out of business. We got to move and groove. Hell, the copper in our pipes in the back room, those are for sale. Like you got to move some product. So it's the Rams are going to regret not doing that, quite frankly. But I still find it fascinating that the Jets thought or think. Obviously, it doesn't matter now, but it's just crazy that they thought Matthew Stafford could be a good enough guy to get them over the top. I'm not sure if I agree, but I'm curious what you guys think. Again, the Jets' three quarterbacks in the Super Bowl winning tier, which is the tier that matters: Aaron Rodgers, Lamar Jackson, Matthew Stafford, according to Connor Hughes. Super interesting, guys. Let us know in the comments below what you think about this. Again, I think the Jets got the best possible guy, Aaron Rodgers. He's got the highest ceiling. He's got this nice window here. We'll see how long it lasts. Is it 1 year, 2 year, 3 years of bringing the Jets to a Super Bowl. He has won the MVP in 2 of the last 3 years. He's playing the best possible football, and I still think he's got unbelievable football left in the tank. So I think the Jets made the right decision. Again, a guy I was calling back for late last year. So I'm glad the Jets got Aaron Rodgers, but it's interesting in the NFL. What coulda, shoulda, woulda happened if the Jets went in a different direction? What if Aaron Rodgers said, I didn't want to play for the Jets and they had to pivot? I'm sure they could have convinced the Rams to give up Stafford, and would he have gotten them over the top? Fascinating. And if they'll, let us know in the comments down below. Like the video, hit subscribe down below. That's a free way you guys can contribute to the show. We're on our path to 5,000 subs on YouTube. Help us get there, everybody. And let us know in the comments down below what you think of this absolutely interesting nugget. And shout out to Connor Hughes. You can check out the full column down below in the link with all the details on the Jets' pursuit and behind the scenes details of acquiring Aaron Rodgers. Thanks for tuning in. We'll see you